Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now June 6th of 2025, and given that it has been a disastrous couple of days for Meghan Markle, but not just for herself, her entire team surrounding her, after she posted that cringeworthy viral video that, went across all forms of social media. It all originated, by the way, on Instagram. This is the very viral video that I'm sure that you all saw, and if you haven't, you really should actually go ahead and read about it and exactly what happened there. Now, this video consisted of herself claiming that this was some 4 years ago with, herself in the hospital during her pregnancy, and she's dancing to rap/hip-hop music, doing these weird dance moves and hand gestures, and it's just very bizarre, and it even has Harry in the video not showing his face. There's a lot of things in there that are very suspicious, and even watching the video, subconsciously you're even thinking to yourself, is that baby bump even real? But anyway, moving onwards, this is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that we know that she's getting very defensive, and we also know that going into With Love Meghan Season 1 Part 2, because that's what it is, it's not a Season 2, let's be very real. She will be using a lot of lessons in there. She will be lecturing the audience about motherhood, fatherhood, just parenthood in general, and essentially her video on Instagram was a direct jab at the critics that kept on going against her about her being a mother and all this nonsense, that she just can't take criticism at all, right? This is a typical narcissistic behavior. She can't take any level of criticism. However, with the Meghan Markle backlash now going sky high after her recent viral video on Instagram that backfired completely and even got her in trouble over at Netflix, we discussed that yesterday, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle snapping back at critics after receiving such backlash, and how it ties in for her show With Love Meghan. Meghan delivered the following: "I'm a damn grown woman, and I'm proud to say that. I think the most important thing in this world, when you are a very important and caring mother, is to defend yourself, and when you're in show business, you are always going to get critics because everyone wants to be a critic. But when they start to question your authenticity, that's when all bets are off for me, and that's where I draw the line between criticism and pure jealousy. Because I think in this day and age, there is a lot of jealousy going around out there. I will express myself the way I want to express myself in whatever way I want to show everyone who the real Meghan Markle really is. The Meghan who is funny, caring, and wholesome as a mother. And between my brand as ever and my program on Netflix and what we have in store for my podcast, I think it's my job and purpose in life to really show the critics who's the real parent here. My kids are my kids, and I can use my knowledge as a mother to lecture the world on how to properly engage themselves into parenthood. But again, when you have critics questioning your authenticity after you express yourself, it just shows you how unhealed many American citizens really are, and how they really do need to better themselves. Whether you're a single father or mother, or if you are together as parents, there are so many out there that choose the wrong role models on how to properly parent children. That's when I think many of those same critics should look up to someone like me and where I should step in, because I have experience and I have a platform and an opportunity to share that experience with the world. And I will be doing that whether people like that or not. I feel it is my true purpose. Guys, let me just stop there for one moment. Again, nobody wants to get lectured by Meghan Markle. No father and mother would ever want to get lectured by Meghan Markle, or even follow her guidance, follow her overall opinions, or anything to do with her overall view on things like that. Nobody wants to hear it or see it from Meghan Markle in a podcast, a TV show, let alone, going on camera and talking about this. But what's interesting about this, yet again, is that we know that this viral video during her pregnancy, supposedly from 4 years ago, I know a lot of people think it's not from 4 years ago, but look, we know that everything about it is very suspicious. Harry's not showing his face. The baby bump, to me, it looks like she stuffed the pillow under there. I'm not saying that's the actual case, I'm just saying what it looks like. But I think that a key thing here is if Harry showed his face, you probably would know when this video was recorded. You would absolutely know that. And I would also like to know, when was that song created in the background? That's another thing that may give you a better hint at things on whether or not this took place, 4 years ago or sometime, more recent. But what's interesting here again is that we know that Meghan Markle, at the same exact time, she is going into defense mode, alright? She's trying to defend her overall narcissistic personality. She can't take criticism. She's trying to protect her overall supposed image as a mother, as an actress, as someone who's engaged in show business. It's really quite pathetic, honestly, because look, we know that Netflix is getting a very bad reputation for this. That's exactly why. They are making a lot of changes behind the scenes as we speak, as we went over in the full details just yesterday about what they did in the midst of her posting that viral video. In fact, Netflix went as far to demand her to take it down, and she did not take it down. In fact, as I looked just a couple of hours ago, it's still up there. But overall, she goes on to allude further, but tackling criticism and critics after expressing myself is going to be quite the challenge, because it reminds me time and time again that our society has many flaws that need to be fixed and stitched together properly. I don't think I can stay as silent anymore toward my critics, and it's time I begin to voice my true feelings out to the world. I will continue to express myself. I don't think anyone can stop me from doing that, because it's important to express yourself. It gives you a sense of self. It gives you a self of importance and value, and knowing that others are there to see your presence. Geez, that's a lot of, moments where she said self there. Quite the word salad. Moving on again. And so I think it's a healthy thing to do. Whether it comes from criticism or not, it always is healthy to do what you want to do, whether it's on the internet or in the comfort of your own home, and I will never stop doing that. So look, we know that Meghan Markle, obviously, it seems like people struck a nerve. It seems like, people got to Meghan Markle, and that she's really getting very defensive, very bitter now. The fact that nobody's falling for her overall, attention-seeking behavior. Nobody's falling for that. Nobody's laughing at this video. In fact, everyone's cringing at it. Everyone's, just honestly just looking at her as far less, reputable at all, at the fact that she's connected to Netflix. People are actually calling for her to just get rid of season 2, have Netflix cancel this thing out altogether already, because this is a bad image for Netflix, and it's really not helping at all. The fact that she's not taking it down, the fact that she's refusing to take it down on Instagram, and so that's not looking good either. The fact that Netflix demanded that and she refused. Internally speaking, alright, apart from publicly, internally speaking, over at Netflix, there's a lot of tug-of-war situations going on right now between Ted Sarandos, Greg Peters, over the whole viral video that's really just spreading like crazy across X, Instagram, here, Facebook. I mean, it's all over. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments. Anything ranging from the whole Meghan Markle situation with the viral video during her pregnancy and everything else going on with the whole With Love Meghan Season 2 setbacks. The reshoots are set to begin in just a couple of days, by the way, and what worse time to actually choose to drop a viral video like that. Anyway, I would like to hear what you all have to say about that below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.